Yo, and welcome back to another video with Vix Me, and today we're doing another video of Billy and Mandy. Let's get straight into it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and show me some love down below by leaving some comments. Today's episode is called Billy's Grown. How is that gonna happen? I don't know. The episode starts with a sous chef announcing his iron stomach competition, and guess who's the main competitor? None other than Billy. So, Billy's up there and he's about to make some type of catastrophe. You already know Billy doesn't eat right, so I'm gonna name out what he just put in the bowl and try to make for everybody. Okay, here's the recipe for Billy's Gonzo's cookies. First thing you need is some buffalo potato chips. Crush them all up and throw them into the bowl, then add some pork whiz. Then add you some Dunkin' Donuts. They gotta be mini Dunkin' Donuts too. Can't go wrong with some teeny weenies. Dump them bad boys in there too. Next, we got strawberry grundies. Mix them all up and then put them in there too. Throw a gut bomb, pickle loaf, and some ham cheese in there too. Mix in some syrup and grape soda and a little bit of pie too, and you got yourself the recipe. Now all you gotta do is mix it all up and throw that joint in the oven. Unfortunately for Billy, he's not allowed to use the oven. So what does he like to do? Just love to taste the cookie dough. You would have thought it'd been out the bowl too, but Billy takes the whisk machine, put it in his mouth, and turns it on to get every single bit off of it. Turns out it was all a dream because here comes Grim waking up Billy now. Turns out Billy was in a food coma because when you pan over to the left, you see all the food that he's been eating all day to put him in this type of coma. Mandy looks concerned and tells Billy that he can't be eating like this because he always has these type of nightmares when he does. Just then, Billy gets a stomach ache that makes him look like he's about to birth a baby or something. Then ends up throwing up. Of course, instead of going to CVS, Mandy asks Grim if he has like a remedy or something that can help out. And instead of going to get the Pepto-Bismol, Grim's like, yeah, my old grandmama used to have something that would help him just fine. So they go to the kitchen to find all the ingredients for the remedy. But they're out of one thing. They're fresh out of Screamy Mimi's. I don't know about you, but I can't start my morning without my Screamy Mimi's. So Grim just starts laughing because they're all out and they can't help Billy. But Mandy asks, where can we find some? And unfortunately, they need a random dimensional rift to get there. But fortunately, it just happens out of nowhere. They get sucked into the rift and end up in a swamp somewhere. But it's not no ordinary swamp because it has like an alligator with like 16 eyes, like vampires, a whole bunch of mythical creatures there. It's like really creepy. But Mandy's cool with it. And ironically, it's the best place to find some Screamy Mimis. Trotting along through the swamp, they see some radishes that's maddish. So there's some maddish radishes. Let me know if that hit down below. I'm just a man on the internet. So after getting smacked silly, Grim and Mandy hear some laughing and go investigate. Turns out it's the Screamy Mimis, not screaming, but having a pillow fight and having a great time. Until they see Mandy and Grim pop up from the bushes, and then they start screaming, like they go crazy. And I guess that's why they call Screamy Mimis. Eventually they get the remedy and get back to Billy. Time to take his medicine. Billy gulps down the whole thing in one try. And then starts like freaking out. Like his body starts morphing out. He starts jumping around, all that stuff. Whatever's in that junk must have been that Percolator 5000. But afterwards, he feels 100% ready to go. Except one thing. He has like this itch on his back that he cannot get. So he asks Mandy to go check it out for him. Turns out it's some freaky looking eye. And it blinks at them. Just then, the eye morphs another eye. And it looks like it might become a face. But it looks like this worm thing right now. And it grows a mouth after Billy asks what name it wants to be called. And he goes with Yop Yop. See, I got a Yop Yop. And I'm telling you, I would have pulled that out automatically if I see something like that grow on my back. I ain't capping. On somebody's back, I don't care who. So now Grim has remorse and like, what did I do? That's a nasty looking parasite. Gets a little too close and Yop Yop bites his finger, trying to bite it off. After biting it off, he spits it on the ground and him and Billy gets to laughing. So it's starting to seem like Billy and Yop Yop's growing a bond and they run off to go get something to eat. On the other hand, Grim is like, that should have worked perfectly. Why is there a parasite growing out of Billy's back now? Catch it back up with Billy. He's doing exactly what got him into this predicament. Again, went to the fridge, pulled out all the junk food he wanted, back to the TV, watching that chef, feeding Yop Yop this time. Just then, Yop Yop turns into a mini Billy. And I don't think anybody wants to deal with two Billys. So Mandy's like, don't we have a remedy that we can use to get rid of the second Billy? And of course they do. Grandma got that Coca-Cola that make you go Cody crazy. She called it the heebie-jeebie juice. But instead of going to make it this time, she just throws it through a portal that they was like You know, I don't get that part. I really don't understand it. So on the way to get some more snacks, Billy and Yop Yop walks right past Mandy and Grim. And Mandy's like, what better time to get him than now? Give it to him, Grim. Oddly enough, Billy doesn't want to take it. But he goes back for refills of all the same junk food they just finished eating, prompting Mandy and Grim to go and tackle him and try to force him to drink this remedy. Ready to be chased, Billy throws all his food up in the air and gets stuck on the ceiling. Grim, on the other hand, feels the pressure of all that food when it gets splat in his face. Yop Yop, knowing that he about to get backdoored, he ain't trying to go outside, so he pulls so hard that he pops off of Billy's back, and the little YN is naked running around the house yelling Yop Yop. Eventually, they chase him into the living room where they corner him behind a chair. Grim picks up the chair just to find out Yop Yop's not there. Turns out he snuck behind him and bites him on his butt and chases Grim around, holding on for dear life. I don't understand it though. He doesn't have a butt. Even though Yop Yop knows how he was made, Mandy goes over there and says she has some cherry soda for him, and he goes for it. He's going. Drinks the whole thing just like Billy in the beginning of the episode. But on the other hand, Brad just turns into straight water paste. Or maybe he just turned into some cherry soda. Let's just go with that. Billy runs over as fast as he can trying to stop the whole thing. But it turns out, all he really wanted was the first sip of the soda. And maybe all of it. Afterwards, finally finding out that Yop Yop is soup. Then, Mandy just picks up a vacuum and then sucks him up like nobody cares. Drops out a bag from the vacuum and tells Billy to go dump his own friend. That's harsh. So Billy has a little slow walk to the trash can, and while there, remembers all the time they had, all those short. I guess he might miss him. Well, I don't know. Maybe they too much of friends because Billy's one nasty dude that ends up drinking Yop Yop. You can't even call it drinking because he ate the bag too. He just shoved it all in his mouth and just became Yop Yop. But that's how the episode ends. I hope y'all enjoyed this video because I did. It was one of those weird episodes and I love the weird episodes. Not too much going around finding new places to see, but we got a lot with the group and I love that. The next episode that's coming up is one of my favorites because it introduces one of my favorite characters of all time in Billy and Mandy. So yeah, hopefully check it out when it comes out. But until then, make sure to like, subscribe, and check out some of my other videos because I make videos. And yeah, till next time.
I can be that nigga that they don't wanna feed. And my heart is full of hate, so I don't need no